Beware of companies out here using their status as a corporate entity and their authority in the space that they operate in to make you feel like you have to do something that you honestly don't have to do. They'll call you, they'll say, hey, I know you purchased this thing from me, but I need you to do something that will inconvenience you. They don't use those words. But this is the thing. They'll say something like that, right? And then you'll feel like, oh my God, this is a company. They're official. They said I need to do it. So I guess I just need to do it. Let me give you an example of something that happened to me last year, 2022, right? So I bought a house in 2021. It had, it had a little bit of things going on with it. It was a fixer-upper type of thing. So got the house, went past appraisal, went past inspection. Everything was cool. Or when I say cool, they let me know what I had to do. But the house was livable, right? So we get there, close on the house. About a year later, I get and so after I close on the house, a couple months later, mortgage company sells my mortgage to a bigger bank, right? Which happens all the time. That's normal. You get a mortgage from a small company, they will sell it. It's part of the game, right? But then I get a call. So my mortgage was sold a couple months after I closed. Then I get a call about a year later from the original mortgage company who actually originated my loan. And they said, hey, do you remember this damage on the siding that you had at your house when you were closing? I said, yeah. They said, did you get it fixed yet? I said, no, I was just, I'll get to it when I get a chance. They said, no, actually, we got a letter from the financer of the loan, and they said that we need that fixed or they're going to kick the loan back. So let me just explain real quick if you don't know about it. So when a bank gives you a loan, for the most part, more than likely, they are just issuing a loan. They are just the administrative entity over the loan. The money is really coming from some larger entity behind them, which would be Freddie Mac a lot of times, right? The money is actually coming from Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac is loaning us the money, but the people maintaining the loan is who we deal with every day. Like we deal with, Rocket Mortgage. We're dealing with them face to face, but that's not who's actually, the money is really coming from Freddie Mac, okay? So the company called me and pretty much said, hey, Freddie Mac said that if you don't get this fixed, they're going to kick the loan back. So I said, wait, that doesn't make sense because y'all don't even have the loan anymore. And nobody sent me anything and nobody at my new loan company told me anything about this. So why did they contact you about the loan that you don't own anymore? They said, well, it's just because we're the ones who originated the loan. And it's nothing. It's really small. It doesn't mean anything actually for you. But if you don't want your mortgage payments to change who you pay to, it's best if you just get it fixed and then, let us know when you get it fixed. So then I'm like, okay, cool. So I called the company that I have the mortgage with now, and I said, hey, did you guys get a call about saying I have to fix some stuff or the loan will be transferred back to the people you bought it from? They said, no, we didn't get any calls like that, and we don't have any paperwork like that. If that ever happened, we would be notified first, and you would get some notification. I said, that's weird. So then I dug even deeper. I called Freddie Mac. I said, hey, Freddie Mac, you guys funded my loan. I just got a call from the loan company, the administrative company who originated my loan. They told me that you guys sent them some type of letter saying that I need to fix some stuff at my house and send them proof of it. They said, nah, that's not right. We would never do. That's not how we handle that. We wouldn't handle that. And not only is that not how we handle it, if that did happen, it's not on you to fix it. It's on that company. That company has to get it fixed because they're the ones who missed it when it was time to finance this loan. So it's on them. They have to pay for it. They have to show proof of it. It's completely on them. It's not on you at all. You wouldn't have anything to do with that. We wouldn't even send you a notice like that. So I'm like, damn. So they really tried to scam me. So then they started emailing me. I started ignoring them now because now I'm like, okay, they tried to play with me. So now they calling me back to back, leaving me messages, sending me emails, and not like in a harassing way because they don't know that I went above their heads and found out the real information. So they're still saying, hey, and then they now they're starting to lie. Say things like, hey, have you gotten a chance to get that stuff fixed? Hey, if you go ahead and get it fixed, we may be able to reimburse you. So just send us the receipts, when you get it fixed and all that. So I just, I sat on it for a second. Then I emailed back. I emailed the guy back and I said, and then I actually CC'd the loan officer who actually called me first and who worked on my loan when I got the house. I said, hey, thanks for reaching out. I've been having a hard time finding this information that you're talking about, but can you guys send me some type of official document to show me where it says what you're telling me on the phone, because I don't know what to tell my lawyer. I'm trying to get my lawyer to look it over, but we can't find anything. Can you send me the document so I can show my lawyer? And guess what happened, y'all? They never hit me back at all. When I brought up telling my lawyer about this information, they never hit me back. Go figure. Of course they never hit me back because they were lying from the beginning. And companies do that type of stuff all the time to people. They make a mistake. You don't know they made a mistake. They know they made a mistake, but then they pass it on to you and tell you, hey, you have to fix this or XYZ consequences will happen to you. Hey, it won't hurt us. We're not the ones that just got the new house. It'll inconvenience you. They make it seem like that because they know that people are vulnerable in those type of situations. Fortunately for me, this is not my first dealing when it comes to mortgages. Fortunately for me, you can't just tell me anything and I'm just going to believe it. Right? And that's not to say I'm combating everything I get told, but you have to make it make sense to me. First of all, you can't tell me I have to do anything and you didn't send me any documentation. The first thing I say, because you've been dealing with mortgage companies and loans I've been dealing with them for a decade, over a decade now, right? One thing that I know for sure, when it comes to any type of loans of this size, they make sure there's a paper trail of it. They will send you some type of document, forward you a document, send multiple documents to you saying, hey, you have to do this because these people said this. Here's the document number. Here's the case number. Here's everything. That's just standard protocol when it comes to loans. They have everything mapped out and they have great record keeping. So you can't tell me that you're about to just send me a couple emails and make a couple phone calls and leave me some voicemails and tell me, hey, you got to do X, Y, Z. But you don't have any type of paperwork that you can show me. And being real, I didn't even talk to a lawyer about it. But I knew that if I brought up a lawyer, they would either have to give me some real documentation on it, or they would have to admit that they lied, or they would have to stop contacting me. And they chose to stop contacting me. Because, and the fact that Freddie Mac said that they never even audited my loan at all anyway, because that's what the company told me. They said, hey, Freddie Mac did an audit on this loan, and they found out that there were some repairs that need to be done. Freddie Mac didn't audit the loan, first of all, so that was the first lie. And secondly, that was them going through their paperwork. Somebody probably above her head probably told her, hey, why did you push this loan through without getting these things fixed? So then she's scrambling and try to get it fixed. And come on, man. Let me read Joe real quick. Yeah, go above their heads. Of course I'm always going above heads. He says, so will it be on them to get the repairs done? I'm wondering what they would have gained in you doing this. Like, would they have made you go through an approved contractor and that's how they would? No, this is the thing, Joe. It was all a lie. It was, they saw, here's the thing. Freddie Mac could possibly audit the loan and say, hey, you guys didn't catch this, you need to fix it. But they didn't audit the loan. The mortgage company was trying to cover themselves, so they came back and said, hey, the original loan officer missed this, so the original loan officer, you need to figure out a way to get him to fix these things just in case we ever get audited. So that's what happened. So then they pretty much came up with a scheme to say, let's get him to do it himself. So the way that they were trying to coax me into it was to say we might be able to reimburse you. I told them, I also told them with the reimbursement thing, I said, I need you to send me that in writing also. But of course, they weren't going to because they had no plans of reimbursing me. And no, they didn't need an approved contractor. They just needed to show that it's fixed. You know, when you buy a house, the people appraising it and the people doing inspections, they pretty much go for surface level everything. You know, even though they go in any accessible space they can go into, they go into it. But they don't open up walls to look at the structure. They don't do the most thorough inspection. They go to the most easily accessible places. They take pictures of the outside. They take pictures of the inside. They don't know the status of the insulation in the walls. They don't know if there's termite damage unless it's exposed to, plain view. So there's really the only thing that they could do, I could cover the stuff, the things that they wanted fixed. I could have covered it up myself, took pictures and sent it back to them, and that would have been sufficient. That's pretty much how it would have worked. They might have sent an appraiser back out, but if y'all know anything about appraisers, they're like loan/real estate professionals. So a lot of them they're not structural people, they're not construction people, they're not carpenters most of the time. Some of them may have had a career change, but for the most part, most of them don't know anything about home construction. All they know is what something is supposed to look like, and then they judge it and put a value on it. And it's more so based on the size, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, how many floors, if it's vacant, and then what else sold in the area and how much they sold for. Appraisers are not looking too deep. So if I would have fixed those issues, all they would have needed was a picture of it, and that would have been it. So, I told that story to say, be diligent when dealing with these companies, man. They will lie. And to them, it's a harmless lie because they just need to get whatever thing they need to get done, they need to get it done. I feel like the most time you see stuff like that, you'll probably see it with car companies a lot. I had this done to me back in the day too. A car company, I went up in there 2010, went to get me a car that I could barely afford. It was like a Malibu, brand new, right? I go up in there to get the car, trade my other car in. They let me leave. They were like, okay, you don't owe any money down, no down payment, all that good stuff, right? I leave. I get a call the next day. They're like, hey, we need you to bring that car back. We couldn't get a loan for you on this thing. So bring the car back, man, because, we couldn't get a loan. We had to switch it out and give you another car. I get back to the joint. They're like, yo, all we can get you for is an HHR. Y'all remember the Chevy HHR? I was like, man, no. I'm not buying the HHR. So they was like, either you take this HHR or we need you to put $1,000 down. So coming off of no money down to now I need to put $1,000 down. At that time, I wasn't making a bunch of money in the military. So I'm like, damn, I got to have $1,000. So I was like, no, I'm not. First of all, I didn't put all my stuff in this Malibu. I'm loving the car. I loved it. It was brand new. To me, it was like a spaceship at that time. Like there was a lot of good features in that car for that year. I was like, no, I can't do it. So they like, you could put some money down. So I just gave them the money down. But that's what those kind of companies do. These companies play with people, man. They'll send you off the lot or something and then tell you, oh, you know what? Actually, you can't afford that. You need to bring it back. Or you can give us some money. You can come get this other thing. So now, by the time you traded your vehicle in, you've signed all the paperwork to trade in another car, or you've signed a whole bunch of documents, you don't really want to go back through this process of transferring a trade-in back to you because you've already had your mind set on a new car. So you're pretty much going to do whatever they tell you to do at that point. I had to learn that very young. And that experience right there when I was 19, what year was that? The end of 2010. I was 20 years old. That experience right there is what has me in the mindset that I'm in now, to where these people can't just tell me anything. You're not about to tell me that my interest rate is going to be one thing and then you switch it on me at the last minute. You're not going to tell me my down payment is going to be one thing and you switch it on me at the last minute. I learned that early, and I wish, I feel like I shouldn't have to be some type of financial educator for people to pay attention to what I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't have to learn this the hard way, because these companies will do you. You don't got to learn this the hard way. Learn from somebody else who did it already. I did a lot of stuff with finances young. Then I trial and error, and I had to learn it, right? They will lie about interest rates. They'll lie about down payments, and they'll lie about monthly payments. They will lie about monthly payments to have you thinking one thing, and they won't even include mortgage insurance. They won't include, homeowners. They won't tell you anything because a lot, as people who want to buy houses, we should know certain things, right? But it's a good chance that if it's my first house, I don't know anything about escrow. I don't know anything about taxes. I don't know anything about buying homeowners insurance. I don't know anything about PMI. So if a loan officer is not being upfront with you, which they're probably not, more than likely they're not going to do it. If a loan officer is not properly explaining amortization schedules and why it takes so long to pay off a house and why the principal that you pay, the principal balance that you pay on every month is so much lower than the interest. If they don't explain this type of stuff to you, you're not going to understand it, right? So you have to be out here and you have to do your own research. You got to do due diligence. You need to go ask somebody else who did it. Ask another professional that'll talk to you for free. These people will play with you, man.